Shalom, shalom. It's your Ak, Bro Word, a.k.a. Yaosa. And we outside. You know what it is. Today I'm going to get right into it. We talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is plural marriage, a.k.a. polygyny, not polygamy, polygyny. Shout out to Straightway Truth, Pastor Charles Dow. I learned a lot from them. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due, especially when it comes to this subject. But polygyny, which is what is biblically accurate, that's when the man, the head of the house, is involved with more than one female. Polygamy, which is not of the Bible, is where the man and the woman can have multiple partners. And a woman that has multiple partners is a whore. A woman is not to have multiple partners. I mean, even when a man enters into a woman, he changes her DNA because he places his DNA inside of her. The man is the emitter. The woman is the receiver. A man who has multiple partners is like a master key. He can unlock many locks. But a lock that is unlocked by many keys is a shitty lock. Nobody wants that lock. And women are to be chaste. And I don't mean chase like chasing. I mean chase like they're to be humble. They're to keep like a chastity belt or something. I don't even know where a chastity belt comes from. It's not biblical. But that's to put a vision in your mind. That's to give you an image. They're to be chaste, keepers of the home. Right? So it is not for a woman to have multiple partners. And if a woman has multiple partners, that's fine. She's a hoe. And you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. As simple as that. So polygyny is biblical. Polygamy is not biblical. Anyway, we're going to get right into it. Plural wives. This is seeking sister wives. So I still got to get my whole reaction thing down. So forgive me while I get there. For now, we outside. I still got my studio downstairs. I might get back to that, but while it's warm, I'm gonna be outside. So this is the name of this series. Torah Observed Patriarchs. We outside. / plural marriage.
Just retire on his couch.
Yeah, free drop, free pickup. That's exactly what we want.
So he got 2 wives right now, and they're not bad looking women. Let me see if I get a better picture.
Okay, yeah.
The one that's sitting right next to him.
Hey, how y'all feeling about this date tomorrow night? Let's go.
The one that's sitting right next to him is his younger wife. The one that's sitting further from him is his first wife, or the wife of his youth, which makes sense. I mean, as you add women. Now, I don't have a polygamous marriage. Hell, I don't even have a marriage. You know, I'm just gonna be honest. So, to listen to me, you must add the grain of salt. You gotta add the salt to the game, right? But the thing is, though, is that I'm beginning to comprehend feminine nature. And women or females in this society, as well as men, but especially women, they're very self-conscious. And they have a whole lot of spirits going on within them. But even the men too. So I understand why he would keep his younger wife a little bit closer, but that's just this scene. But as I've been watching this series, he's been keeping his younger wife like a bit closer. But I understand, she's the new wife. Keep her a bit closer. I mean, even in the Torah, when you take a wife, you want to give her a year to make her happy before you go off and do anything else, you know? So, and if you're going to bring a new wife into your house, you need to make sure that your first wife or the wife of your youth, not to say that she's content with it, but that she's content with who she is. That she understands that nobody can come in and replace her. See, adding wives, adding to your family is really a blessing. It's a huge blessing because you can have more children, right? More sons, more daughters. More sons, you know, who needs to call the police if you got 50 sons, right? And who needs to go to the bank if you got 50 daughters? Because all your virgin daughters are going to get you a bride price. Now, in having this extended family, you need to take care of your family. Like this guy right here, he got a house. Could he be on some land? Maybe he has some land. I don't judge books by the cover. I don't make judgments according to the appearance only, which the Messiah actually commanded. He said, judge not according to the appearance, but make a righteous judgment. So if I was to look at this man and say, well, he only in a house and this and that, first of all, he got a house. And he can take care of his business. So if I was to judge him off appearance only, the man's winning. But I'm not going to judge him off appearance because that's unrighteous. Anyway, we're going to keep going. I don't want this video to be too long.
Still meet him, seeing how things mesh between Dina and I, as well as the relationship between them and Dina. But I'm definitely still dating other people this early in our dating process. You gotta date around. So I have a date with Janae.
So, now according to the Bible, ain't no such thing as dating. And I'm not going to hold that against them because they don't proclaim to subscribe to what the Bible teaches. And that's fine. That's on them. And if he can maintain his household and not even be like upholding Torah in his house, hey, it is what it is, man. Much respect. I much rather keep Torah in my house. That's just me. I'm the Torah observer patriarch. So that's what I'm going to do. Hallelujah. But it's hard out here for a man trying to keep his women in line. I mean, look, let's just be honest. One wife is a headache. So 2 wives is a migraine, my nigga. 3 wives, oh, shit, you better be doing something right. 4, 5, 6, you better be doing something right. You better be taking care of all your business. Your wives better be ashamed to complain. That's how well you handle business. That they are ashamed to complain, my nigga. Excuse me for using that type of language. But the word nigga is in the Bible. So I'm not going to sit here and try to be holier than thou. I am in the book as I speak. So dating is not something that the book subscribes. I'm more about agreements. And as I get older and more experienced in life, I understand the importance of agreements. Because you don't want to be playing this game. If she like you and you like her, make an agreement. Just say, look, this is what I want, this is what I expect. If she don't want that, if she don't expect that, then you lose nothing. Say you meet a woman and you're like, yo, this is what I want, bada bing, bada boom. And she say, it seems like it's your way or no way, so I gotta go. You've been blessed. Because if you was to deal with that woman and get her pregnant or something, she's gonna try to wring you out in the court system, right? Like, explain it to a woman, yo, there's no such thing as a marriage certificate in the Bible. Well, I need a marriage certificate. That's her speaking. I need a marriage certificate. Then y'all already know y'all not in agreement. And how could two walk together unless they be agreed? And that's what be messing men up nowadays. There be no agreements, but there be a lot of whoremongering. And a whoremonger will not enter into the kingdom of Shemayim, or the kingdom of heaven. So whoremongering is not the way to go if you want to be righteous. You want to have an agreement. Now, she could be a concubine. She could be a wife. Most of these women are concubines. Most of these women are not wives. Because technically, if a woman wants to be a wife, she should be a virgin. Simple. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. So we're going to get back to it. But dating, girlfriend, boyfriend, to be a girlfriend for a woman, if a woman is listening, if you say to yourself, I don't want to be a concubine, but I'll be a girlfriend, that just shows your ignorance. Because a girlfriend is not even, that status is not even in the Bible. So that means that you are accepting a status that's not even proclaimed. There's no instruction. There's no direction, dictation. There's nothing that leads to any woman wanting to be a girlfriend. That's something that was invented later on down the line. At least a concubine has an agreement with the man she chooses to submit to. So go ahead, be a girlfriend if you want to be. But a girlfriend has no agreement. So actually, you're just a whore. I know it's a hard truth, but it's the truth though.
The day I first met, while Tim and I were separated, just a couple of months before India and I met, she just was this gorgeous girl who was so friendly and bubbly. She was a bartender, we exchanged numbers, and then she kind of disappeared as she moved to Atlanta. Janae and I kind of reconnected. I reached out to her.
So,
That was weird.
For it to work out and for it to get along.
When I first heard about Janae, my initial thoughts was, I know that there's history here. It sounds like she's like the one that...
She's very ambitious. She's a hard worker. And for them, the reason I asked how y'all feel about this, but
let me get back to it.
She just was this gorgeous girl about the stakes of my life. I'm still seeing how things mesh.
So he got one chick. That Vina. He got another chick. Now, like I said, ain't dating ain't in the Bible. But women are starting to open up. They're going to have to open up to polygyny. Because there ain't enough men out here to cover every woman. That's bullshit. That's a lie. That's a lie, bro. There ain't enough men out here to cover every woman. I don't even know what the stats is, but let's just say it's 10 women for every man. For every eligible man, there's 10 women. Let's just say that. The stat could be off, but it's probably pretty accurate though. Isaiah 4:1 says that in that day, 7 women gonna grab a hold of one man and say, cover me. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what they want. They want to be covered. So anyway, he got this one chick. They don't talk much about this chick, but I want to talk about this other one though.
Between Bina and I, as well as the relationship between them and Bina, but I'm definitely still dating other people this early in our dating process. You gotta date around. So I have a date with Janae.
So he got another date with Janae. Now Janae, he met this woman while he was separated from one chick and hadn't met the other chick yet, right? So his wives. He was separated from one of his wives and he hadn't met the other wife, right? So he was single. And he was just doing his thing. He did a cold approach on a piece that he felt was cold. And he pulled the number. She disappeared because women, they be finicky. They emotional. They whimsical. You never know. One day they love you, the next day they don't love you. I mean, if I could say this and be pure, and it's just a quote from a movie. I don't condone drugs, but it's a good statement in this setting, or what the point I'm trying to convey. Another Quaalude should love me in the morning. So basically, she's just emotional right now. She don't like me right now, but give her some time. She'll love me in the morning. And also another good quote from Scarface: first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. You don't just wake up and have multiple wives. That's not how it works. If you don't have a job, don't even think about multiple wives. If you're not making enough money to at least take care of yourself and maybe take care of a couple other people, don't even think about multiple wives. And also, you have to be able to make why take a second wife if your first wife don't love you? Like, you have to be a man in a position where women understand your value. You don't necessarily have to be a quote-unquote high-value man. Shout out Kevin Samuels. But what you do have to do is you have to be confident enough to understand who you are, what you bring to the table. And then you have to be someone that a woman has no problem submitting to. That doesn't mean that you have to take a buck wild bitch out the bush and say, hey, submit to me, even though the buck wild bitch out the bush might submit to you before these American women do. But what I'm saying is that you have to be a man who has a plan. You have to have a vision. And you have to stick to your plan. You never put a woman first. The Bible say that you never give a woman authority or power over you. Right? So, anyway, he met this little piece. He met this woman, his potential third wife. Look, and remind you, he was single when he met her. He was not in a polygynous relationship. But all of a sudden, his ex want to come back. Then another little young woman he met, she decided she wanted to join the family. And now I'm pretty sure he done told her the situation. Yo, I got 2 wives. And you know what? Women love it. Women love it when you're desirable of other women. They could talk all the shit they want. But women love it when other women desire you. It automatically validates you. It gives you status. Especially if those women fine. You know how they say in the red pill community, and mind you, I'm not red pill. I'm just a man who walks the truth. But you know how they say in the red pill community that a woman is never going to do better than her baby daddy? I'm going to tell you something. As a man, you're never going to do better than your first wife. So if your first wife is overweight, then all your wives are going to be overweight. Simple. If your first wife is a baddie, then you have the potential to have nothing but baddies around you. So you never gonna do better than your first wife, because other women are gonna look at that and say, why would I join his family if his first wife looked like that? Just a little game for you.
And I first met, while Tara and I were separated, just a couple of months before Eddie and I met, she just was this gorgeous girl who was so friendly and bubbly. She was a bartender. We exchanged numbers, and then she kind of disappeared as she moved to Atlanta. Janae and I kind of reconnected. I reached out to her, just like, hey, we should hang out. We should really visit things. We had a really great connection. So I'm very excited. I finally got Janae to agree to allow me to fly her in for dinner. The reason I asked how y'all feel about this particular date is because I feel like it's a little different than the Bina situation with somebody from the past. As I started to date and talk to Bina and we started to explore what it looks like adding someone to our family, Janae was one of the first people that came to mind. Janae also is someone who is very goal-oriented. She's very ambitious. She's a hard worker, and we all are very much
quality. You gotta pick quality over quantity. Even your potentials. You can't be out here messing with these hood rats, man. Messing with these little girls that have no mind. Ask them questions. Guard your seed, man. Especially black man. Guard your seed. Because the prisons are full of black men. And you know why? Because their father's not there. You know why their father's not there? It's because the mother rather contract with the government. Or she rather deal with a Pookie or a Ray Ray. Or she's already preconceived in her mind that she'd rather contract with the government versus be submissive to a man. So she only wants to deal with Pookies and Ray Rays. She don't want to deal with a black man who's going to handle his business, because that means that she's going to have to submit. So screen these women. Again, I'm not married. Take it with a grain of salt.
So that as well. And so Janae seems like a great fit in that regard.
And how many people you gonna say, I wish I would have dated if I wasn't married? You gonna bring me.
So what is that question about, girl? If I'm righteous with you, and I'm righteous with her, and I'm righteous with everybody in my household, and the Most High has given me my desires, the desires of my heart, who are you to say anything about it? So this whole question, how many women that I wish I would have married, are you going to bring in? Every single one. That's the answer.
Like, is this what's happening? Like,
We're so concerned about messing up our own dynamic.
right.
I can't help but think more familiar people for it to work out and for it to get along.
When I first heard about Janae, my initial thoughts was, I know that there's history here that sounds like she's like the one that got away.
So why are you threatened by that? If you already established in this man's household as someone that he's taking care of, someone that he wants to deal with, somebody that he's already proven that he could provide for, and he wants to deal with somebody, and not only is he dealing with somebody, but he's potentially dealing with somebody who he has desired previously, and she is okay with it, why are you threatened? But it's just the mind state of the whole community nowadays. And to be a repairer of the breach, to help restore all things, because before the master come back, all things gonna be restored. We have to deal with these issues. And we just have to deal with these women, on one hand, delicately. You know, you don't want to just be like, hey, it is what it is, bada bing, bada boom. You can do that. And there's times for that. But also, you have to kind of at least comprehend where she's coming from. And just let her know, baby girl, you are loved. You ain't got to worry about nothing. I ain't got you here to mess around. I'm not playing games. If you thought I was playing games, why are you here? As long as you taken care of and you want for nothing, or at least need for nothing, me adding a woman that I desire, you should be happy for me. You should be happy that this woman wants to come in and add. And the reason why adding is a blessing is because population is a blessing. If you got beef with another If you got beef with another tribe, another set, another gang, you got beef with the police, you got beef with whoever. Don't you wouldn't you rather ride up with 50 trained servants versus 5 trained servants? If one wife can no longer have children, wouldn't you want to have options? If you own a lot of property, you think one wife was going to be like, it's a lot of cleaning, it's a lot of gardening. When you own a lot of property, when you got a lot going on, that's when women going to start to appreciate, oh, I'm glad I got a sister wife. So that we can help each other maintain this. But you have to understand, sometimes these women you need to talk to them and explain to them why it is, what it is, but never falter on what you gonna do. Because if a polygynous relationship is gonna work, the man has to be the head.
You know, I want to make sure you're comfortable, so...
Am I comfortable? No. I definitely want you to like go fill it out, but to know that it's like there's this history and you felt like there was just also this connection, and I don't know what would have happened if you didn't come along and I don't know, I'd be somewhere, you know, I gained it,
When you say it like that and you got that in voice,
you know, it's like, you know.
I think it's very important that we're all on the same page throughout the dating process. I didn't like someone because they're dating me, but this is our family, so to speak. So the first step is that I have to have an attraction, I have to be interested, and I spend time with the person. Only once I realize that that person could be a fit, then the next step in that process is to have them spend some time with both Tara and India, because there's no need to be wasting my time.
So anyway, this video done went on too long. 1 is none, 2 is 1. And what I mean by that is, you see how both his women looking fit and looking and doing their best, although they got makeup on, or at least one of them got makeup on, which I'm not really with. But you see how they looking their best for him? That's because he has options, right? If you only have 1, you might as well consider yourself having none, because she's gonna dictate to you when you gonna get some. She gonna tell you what to do, where you at, how to go about it, what's gonna happen, this and that. But when she knows that she could be replaced, then the paradigm shifts. And that's how it's always been meant to be. So anyway, I'm your boy, I'm your Ak, Yahosef, Bro Word, for Torah Observant Patriarchs. I pray everybody doing well. Shalom, shalom.